Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team. Randy?
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And his throw is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Allen off the play fake. Open man is Holmes. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. He got 29 yards that time.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And this is incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end. And now it's 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he'll take it all the way out near the 30-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions.
Ajayi hit. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Off to often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to carry.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. We'll see what they'll do here as they're up against a 4th and inches. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll go with a keeper and able to follow his center and pick up the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
We often hear analysts talk about a quarterback's wingspan, almost like a forward in basketball. But here's where it pays to have a long reach. They find a slight opening and are able to stick the ball forward to pick up first downs.
Steps away to his left, and he whips that one incomplete there.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Allen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That good for 22 and a first down.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a first down.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. On play action, Wentz. A minute 57 to go in this first half. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as Alshon Jeffrey. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football, and the Eagles have recovered. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands.
And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate, and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you got to get out on.
And the Bills getting set to go. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. On second down, here's Allen. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week, he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps out the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. They go play action here on first down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. He was trying to get it to Andre Holmes that time. And it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Going for it all. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Mills. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. but typically halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it between the zones, sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Holmes has got it complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd. Yeah, after that one.
Here in the third quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a fourth down play.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Again, they'll throw without it. And he rifles one incomplete. Ricky Seals-Jones, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line. And they're definitely not.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll begin the drive with a jive. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Play action. Now Wentz. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there for Philly. 42 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense, can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. They run again with a jive. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Time for a break. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shot.